Pitmaster here. I'm here with the doc. He's over here.
There you go. That's better.
That's
So,
better. Okay.
what is it? It's
So much
Monday.
going on. We got so much shit going on this night. But this is gonna be like the most action-packed podcast ever. I mean, not just our most action-packed one, the most action-packed podcast ever in the whole world.
That's a tall order.
Yeah, we're gonna handle that. And if it wasn't so late, I'd be taking some Sudafed. But since it's late, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, our schedule is all off. So this is
Yeah,
you might be able to
it
tell
is.
we're not in the studio today.
Oh, no, we're not. But we're still doing this because we're reaching out to all of our people, and they want to know what the shit's going on, and we're gonna tell you right now.
There's a lot
First of
going
all,
on.
there's too much going on. It's making my head spin.
So first of
But
all,
okay,
we didn't watch the fights together because you were out of town. I don't know where were you, John?
Santa Monica. I was in Santa Monica with my beautiful wife, just taking a little relaxation, and we just went down there for a couple of days, and we went and watched the fights at Cabo Cantina in the Promenade Center. Great place. Great place.
Cool. All right. So you guys got to see all the fights.
We saw it's actually they played. First of all, they don't even charge any admission, and it was a pay-per-view, so that was good. But then they also, as a favor to me, put it on the Bellator too. So we had the Bellator and the UFC and Lomachenko. It was all three fights. It was like, and we ate dinner there.
All right. So you've seen it all.
I'm like, yeah, yeah, that was one of the best nights of combat sports I've ever watched.
So
It
your
was
trip
pretty fun.
to Santa Monica was all good.
It was all good. It was all good. It was action packed. Almost got jumped a couple times, but my wife and some nice people, they had my back.
What
To,
happened?
to be honest,
what,
well, the
what
one
happened?
time, the one there was a guy in the street, and he was walking in the street, and he was like yelling at this guy that I could see walking on the sidewalk, but this other guy was walking the street yelling, "Come back here, white boy! I'm gonna kill you, white boy!" And the other guy, the guy on the sidewalk, was kind of walking fast, like, "What the hell?" So I'm kind of walking with Heather. We're kind of having a good time, but that guy is in the street, and the cars are swerving and shit. And he said, "Where's that damn white boy?" I said, "Well, he's still walking down there." And he goes, "Well, thanks a lot." And he keeps walking and walking. But then me and my wife are like, we got to this one cross, and I noticed the guy almost got hit by a car, and I felt bad for him. So I said, "Bro, you need to get out of the fucking street. You're gonna get hit by a car." And then all of a sudden, like all of his rage turned to me, and like looked at me. He said, "You're the white fucking devil." And he like came at me in like kind of aggressive manner, and I just kind of took a step back. I was like, "Bro, don't hurt me, okay? Just don't hurt me." And I was kind of half laughing because I didn't want to hurt this poor guy, but he just had a kind of weird affect, and he looked kind of unstable and out of control. So I'm like, "Bro, don't hurt me. I'm warning you. Do not hurt me." And my wife's over there laughing like she thinks it's a joke. This guy could have had like an ice pick or something. And I'm like, "Back off, bro. Do not hurt me. I'm telling you right now." And then all of a sudden, like cars are driving by videoing it, and people are starting to like gather because they think something's going on. And I'm just standing there like, "Do not hurt me. I do not want to get hurt today. Do not hurt me." And and then some guy comes in with his wife, and they're like, "Leave him alone." And Heather's laughing so hard. That guy that's attacking me looks at her and says, "Shut the fuck up, blue-eyed devil. Shut the fuck up." And it's like, I didn't know what to do. It was, to me, it was humorous because a lot of bad things could have happened, but maybe I'm self confident enough to know that in that particular instant, nothing bad was going to happen to me, except I'm going to have to hurt someone and go to jail. But I wasn't in fear. I was kind of amused by the guy, and I shouldn't have been, but I didn't take it as seriously. And I thought about that after the fact. I should have took it more seriously because he could have done some damage, or there was people around too that I didn't know that might have done some damage. Um, it could have been a racial thing because everyone around was black and he was black. Um, but nothing. I mean, I just thought it was a joke. So I was like, "Do not hurt me. Just don't hurt me." And if he came too close to me, I'm not going to risk it. I would be able to defend myself. But then this guy steps in the middle. He takes off his glasses. I already have my slippers off. He goes, "Put your slippers back on and get out of here, man. I don't want you to get hurt by this guy." I go, "Okay." So he basically came between us and told him, "Leave him alone." And I just kind of walked away with my wife.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see after the fact when it all came into like I realized number one, I felt so calm. I'm happy I'm training the way I do, and I feel strong the way I do because I mean I wasn't intimidated or nervous. I just felt like this guy was going to get hurt, and I didn't want him to, but I knew I wasn't going to. And then it really made me happy because there's people around that were there, and if I was a little weak guy that can't fight, they would have protected me, and that made me feel really good because they were willing to step in between me and that guy. And they don't know who I am or if I can fight or not. They know they don't even know why I have my slippers off. All they knew was there was somebody that needed help, and they came in there and they're like, "You go. I'll watch your back, man. This guy's gonna leave you alone." And they helped me, and I felt so it was kind of a mixed thing. Like I should have taken it more serious. It could have been bad, but I felt happy that I was so confident, and I felt really happy that there's people out there that would have helped me. So
you think
it
there's
was kind of weird.
some mental illness there, or what?
Yeah, he was a wacko. I don't know what his trip was. He seemed like when he came at me like he was trying to be aggressive, but I took a step back, I took off my slippers, and I read his body language that he wasn't a threat. He might have had a weapon, he might have been one, but I've been in enough altercations to realize this guy wasn't gonna be able to hurt me. He didn't, and it didn't really intimidate me, and I shouldn't have I shouldn't have taken it so lightly, but I did, and Heather couldn't stop laughing. Even one of the people standing around goes, "Why are you laughing?" And she was like, "I don't know, it's funny." But so I mean, we got out of that, and then the next day we go to the fights, and I'm waiting at the bathroom because there's a line of people at the bathroom in this sports bar, and one at a time can go in. And then all of a sudden, so two girls go into the bathroom I'm waiting for. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I time them. Like 7 minutes later, and I hear them laughing and goofing around in there. I knock on the door. I say, "Hurry the fuck up, please." And then this girl comes out with like an attitude, and she goes, "Who the fuck just knocked on the door?" And I said, "I did. I want to go back and watch the fight." She goes, "Who the fuck you think you are?" I go, "Shut the fuck up and get out of here." And I went in the bathroom, and I used the bathroom, and I came back out, and she was gone. So I was happy. So I started walking in the bar, and I see across the bar, she's storming back over there, and she has two guys with her that are like,
Great.
walking with her. And I'm thinking, oh God, I just want to go back and watch the fights. So she comes back up in my face and go, "What do you guys want?" And I looked at the guy, and he looked at me, and he like said something to his friend, and they like turned around and walked away. And she was like, "Hey, what? Hey!" And then she lost her backup, and so she turns around and walks away. I was like, so I walk back up the stairs, and I'm sitting there watching the fights, and then the two bouncers come up, and they go, "Hey, come over here, would you?" And so they took me outside, and they're like, asked me what happened, and I told them, and they go, "Really?" She had a different story. She said you had threatened her, and you were being aggressive with her, and I go, "No, I just wanted to get out of the bathroom, so I go back and watch the fight." They go, "Really?" shit, all right, man, go back up and watch the fights. And they kicked her out. So,
Okay, that
so
one
it was,
ended
I mean,
well.
a little action. I mean, two little things that kind of got my adrenaline up a little bit, but all in all, it was a great fight. Then after we went home to our hotel room, which was beautiful, I'm telling you, the seashore on Main Street, it doesn't really look like a fancy place. It's a motel, not a hotel. It's a motel, but the rooms are spacious. There's a balcony where you can drink your coffee and stuff and look at all the crazies. Really big room. The deluxe room was huge, and I don't know. It's a really good place, and there's free parking, which is not that common for down there. So we went back, and then Heather, my beautiful wife, she had a couple extra beers up in the bar, and she wanted to see me drunk. So she like was pouring me bourbon to try to get me drunk, and yeah, it was.
Sounds
Let's
like
just
sounds like you guys
let me
didn't
put
take
it
the
this way.
boys.
What?
It sounds like you guys didn't take the boys down there.
No, we didn't take them. I tried to bribe them with dishwashing. I was going to do the dishes for them for 2 extra weeks, but they still wouldn't come.
Well, so you had
They
fun,
wouldn't.
sort of.
Yes, we had so much fun. I love that trip. But yeah, so it was a good trip, and I got to watch Lomachenko, Bellator 199, and the UFC 224. I was
Right.
in I was in I was in heaven.
All right. What do you want to
So
talk about first?
let me just go over the Lomachenko. Lomachenko won his third title in three different weight classes. He's now the lightweight champion of the world, and he beat a guy named Araris. I can't even say, I think it's Araris or something. He was the champion. This guy was tough as shit. I've seen Lomachenko fight a bunch of times. I've never seen anyone outpower him like that. He dropped him in the second or third round, Lomachenko. He dropped Lomachenko. I don't think Lomachenko's ever been dropped before. But then Lomachenko just kept up his movement, and he wasn't hurt. He got kind of, it was just, he sat him on his ass with a straight left hand or a straight right hand. Lomachenko got back up, and just his footwork and his head work and his hand speed, he just weared on the guy, weared on the guy, weared on the guy. Then he threw a right hand to the liver, and in I think it was the ninth round, fight was done. He won his third title. You look at his face after his fights, looks like he's never even been in a fight. He is the best, I think he's the best boxer of all times. I think he is. He's not my favorite fighter because I like the sluggers. I like the Tyson, the Marciano, the Pipino Cuevas. I like the sluggers. They might not be the best. Mike Tyson was one of the best because of his punching power, but I like sluggers better. I just like to watch them better. But as just objectively, I feel Lomachenko is the best boxer ever of all times. What, 400 amateur fights, 2 gold medals in 2 different Olympics. He won his world title in what, his second or third fight? I mean, pro fight. He's amazing. So anyway, if you guys got to see that one, it's just, he's like the Matrix. He makes people quit. This guy, I thought he just quit. He didn't want to get up. But then when you saw the replay, he got tagged in the liver pretty hard. I don't blame him. He did try to get up. But when you get hit that hard in the liver, you just can't. So it was a really good fight. And then, did you watch Bellator?
Yeah, I watched some of it. I watched pretty much all of it, but I saw that Aaron Pico kid that you were talking about last week. I watched him fight. I wanted to see that one. He fought Lee
Yeah.
Morrison, and that was pretty good. That was he defeated him pretty quick, but it was a body shot. He dropped him with a body shot into the liver.
Another liver shot. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think Pico is going to go all the way, probably hit the UFC and go all the way. But one thing I like about the Bellator that UFC doesn't do, but then when you watch it, you realize, I mean, they're not fighting the top guys. You know, like when you're coming up in the UFC, they're going to put you up against somebody with your same experience
Right.
and your same credentials. So you're not gonna. They don't overmatch you. Like if you came in with like 4-0 and you're like red hot like Pico, they'll put you with another guy that's 4-0 and red hot. Bellator doesn't do that like the UFC, and I like the fact that they don't do it. They build up their guys. So this guy, whatever Morrison, I mean, his last 4 wins were against guys who are like 4-40 or something, some kind of crazy tomato cans. I'm not saying he is. In fact, he was pretty tough. He was more of a journeyman. His record was like 18-9. So he was a journeyman, but he'd been beating tomato cans. Pico is a rising star, so they give him journeyman as opposed to other rising stars. And I like that. Hey, what's up?
She ran
and
away.
I like that, but I know, I don't blame. So I like that. They gave him a guy that, that he's supposed to beat, and he did. And so he's right on the path to rising. Sometimes when you overmatch your rising guy, then your rising guy, he doesn't meet his full potential because they quell it or thwart it. I don't know, quell it or thwart it.
I don't know, but
Whatever.
I think that's right. When any sport, if you're playing against people that aren't as good as you don't get better.
No, you don't get better, but if they keep throwing you above you or right to you, and every game is a knockdown, drag out game, sometimes you're not going to quite make your potential. Sometimes it's going to make you rise even faster and harder. But sometimes, like if you look at Sugar Ray Leonard, he was like one of the, amateur fighter, 350 amateur fights. He could have fought anyone as a pro. They could have thrown, like Lomachenko, they threw him in for a title fight in his first fight. But like for the first 10 fights of Sugar Ray Leonard, they were against journeyman and tomato cans to build him up because they know he's good. He's not going to get worse doing that. And then, boom, then he's ready. They throw him to the big leagues. It's like a minor league baseball player. There's minors and majors. There's just not majors. If there was just majors, then there'd be a lot less baseball players making it, right? Because some people need the minors to step up into the majors. That's what I think.
Yeah, I do think playing tougher competition helps in sports, though. But fighting might be a little different when your tougher competition's hurting you. But I think you need it.
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different. But anyway, if they're giving Pico easy fights, he's not going to really show what he can do until he's fighting someone.
No. And with that said, I don't think they're giving him easy fight. I don't think this was an easy fight for him at all. But it would have been a tougher fight for him if he was in the UFC as opposed to Bellator.
What I get out of that fight, though, was you could see how devastating a shot to the liver is in that fight. You don't have to watch. You'll have to watch a minute. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. So I think Pico is definitely UFC and even UFC champion bound. I think he has all the pedigree, and he's the AKA recruits the best wrestlers on the planet, and they train them right and they develop them right. And I don't know. To me, it's a great camp and a great management. I think it's the best management out there. Zinkin, I think, is the best MMA manager there is.
Any other fights on the Bellator card that were interesting to you?
I
Congo
thought the
Ayala.
That wasn't much of a fight. That was kind of not really a good fight, I didn't think, but a good matchup. But I thought Paul Daly, John Fitch was a very interesting matchup, and I thought it was a great. I didn't think it was a great fight, but it was a great performance by John Fitch. I think he did everything he had to do to win, and I think he looked great doing it his way. It made for a really boring fight, and 99% of the time I'm yelling, stand him up, ref, stand him up. But in this fight, I would be like, keep him down, because that would be the only way Fitch was going to win, and he knew it. And he followed his game plan, and he stayed disciplined, and he won the fight. So he didn't just lay on top of him per se. You know, he was getting punches in, and he got a lot of punches in. I don't know the punch count, but there was a lot of punches to the face that weren't blocked. So it wasn't the best fight to watch. It wasn't going to make it wasn't even fight of the fight. So that's how boring it was. It wasn't fight of the night. It wasn't fight of the week, fight of the year. No, none of those. It was not even the fight of the fight. So that's how boring it was. But with that said, I think John Fitch did a great job doing what he had to do, controlling Paul Daly, and I think he's gonna move up the ladder now. And then the main event, it only lasted 15 seconds.
So this was part of the
Ryan
heavyweight
Bader.
Grand Prix. It was Ryan Bader and
Which is
King Mo.
you got a light heavyweight against the middleweight in a heavyweight title. So it's kind of crazy, but Ryan Bader faked the jab to the body and turned it into a left hook to the face, knocked out King Mo in the first round. Nothing taken away from Ryan Bader. He's only getting better and better. I think he has a huge good chance of winning that tournament. I think he's a little small. He's a light heavyweight, but I think he's a big light heavyweight. And the only defense I have for this loss for King Mo is King Mo could be a middleweight. King Mo walks around at like 202. Most light heavyweights walk around 225, 230. King Mo could make middleweight, but for some reason he's been fighting heavyweight and light heavyweight. So I think he needs to move down, and I think he's going to be very, very, very hard to stop.
Yeah, but as far as the fight went, it wasn't. A bunch of them were over in the first round in the Bellator fights. Nothing too exciting. Like I said, I thought the Pico fight was just interesting, just from the liver shot and the anatomy perspective. Your liver's such a big target. I mean, your other organs would probably hurt just as much. They're just not as big of a target as your liver.
I don't know. I mean, the spleen's on the other side. It's the same anatomy, but reversed. Kidneys are protected a different way. We get hit in the kidneys all the time, but they're protected a different way. The only organs, your GI tract down there.
I'm talking about like a solid organ. I think your spleen's a lot smaller, and it's also protected a little more posteriorly, a little more towards the back. But your liver is right on the side. And
it's right there. And
it's a huge target. Huge target.
Two big knockouts. That one and the Lomachenko. Unbelievable. Yeah, he just dropped his guy the same way.
That was a body shot too. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, he's a southpaw, so he threw his left to the liver with his backside and caught the guy just right, and he just dropped too. So Pico, I think, is going to be a champion. I think Paul Daly is really good. He hits hard, but he needs to be a little more multi-dimensional, work on his takedown defense. Like, he was complaining, and I understand how boring it is if someone's laying on you and just waiting for the referee to stand him up, but he wasn't just laying on him. He was actually punching him. So instead of yelling, he needs to get back to the gym and work on his takedown defense and his getting up off the bottom. And then that won't happen, or else everybody is going to do that to him. So, but anyway, all right, UFC 224. Great night of fights. That card wasn't really that great. The main event, we're going to talk about that one pretty heavy, but
let's talk about that one last.
Okay, what's the semi-main?
Well, the first event I liked. It was the first one on the main card was the Vitor Belfort and Lyoto Machida, the Dragon.
Okay.
So that was the first fight. I don't know. That Mark Goddard was a ref in that one, and
he's such a good ref.
That was just a
He's
straight up kick, right up the middle.
he's gonna be yeah, and um, that's the second time that Vitor Belfort's been knocked out with that same kick.
He got that same kick a while ago from what's his name? Silva.
Anderson, yeah,
Yeah, and same exact
and
thing. Same knockout.
same exact kick, yeah, same thing. And then Lyoto Machida knocked out Randy Couture with that same kick.
I think Anderson Silva might have kicked him with his front leg. Did Machida kick him with his back leg? I think he did. But anyway, it was a front kick. It was a front kick right into his chin.
Yeah,
and
so
watching
Machida's
that, yeah, that's twice. But watching that in slow motion was just brutal. That it just rocked his head and instantly put him out. And that's twice for Belfort with that same kick. That's pretty rare, isn't it? Anyway, it's pretty rare to get knocked out that way.
And it's rare because it's kind of a weird combination too. Because Lyoto's done it twice to two separate opponents, and Vitor's had it done twice to him by two separate opponents.
And then what else is there? Is that it? Are there other? I don't know. There's probably other times it's happened, but
yeah, there's been a couple.
Those were high profile fights, though.
Huge fights, and Lyoto is such a class act. It's just, and so is Vitor. You could not say any negative. Only thing about Vitor you could say was a lot of drama in his life, and he was, but nothing negative like towards people. He's never shown anything but total class, and so is Lyoto Machida. So these two guys fighting together were unbelievable warriors. I think Vitor's been fighting in the UFC since he was like fucking 17 or something crazy.
He's been in there for a long time.
He's not that old, I don't think.
He's almost. Is he? He's 39 or 40. He's right around.
Okay,
there.
He's 40. Yeah, he's like 41, but he's been in the UFC for 21 years. So he's been in since he was 19.
He was like at UFC 15 or something. I mean, like a long time ago.
12 or something, yeah. So, so we got that, and then Lyoto first round, so not much there. And then we got John Lineker, who's just like, he's a little fire plug that just comes forward like he's like a Tasmanian devil just swinging. Great takedown defense. He has good takedowns, but he's energy, so much energy. And then I think the third round, he stepped in with a hard right to the body and a left hook to the head. You know that one we go down low and then come with a chopping hook?
He did it a bunch of times to him, and he got him. He caught him with the last one.
He got him, and he went down. Yeah. So it was a beautiful, beautiful. Another thing we talk about a lot in class, that the guy made a mistake. He spun into an elbow, but did one of these high elbows, and Lineker got under him and got his back. So I think that was interesting to watch too. But Lineker, this guy Brian Keller is tough as nails, and he's good as shit. It was a good matchup. It's probably fight of the night, I would think.
That was a great fight. I thought, yeah.
I think it was fight of the night, maybe. What was fight of the night? I don't know.
I don't know which one it was.
But it was a good fight.
Yeah, so Lineker won. I don't think they got anything.
Okay.
I think it was
that was too bad.
Jacare Gastelum won something. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, I thought that knockout was pretty good. That John Lineker. Where is he from? Do you know where John Lineker's from?
He's Brazil.
He's Brazilian. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. And also, you know what? The one thing we didn't talk about in the last fight, the Belfort Machida fight, is Lyoto knocked him out, and then he just bowed and got on his knees. Most of these guys jump around. They jump on the cage like they're not supposed to. They go nuts. I don't know. What Machida did, I mean, he looked like he hurt the guy, and he was very respectful. He bowed. Did you watch this? He bowed and then got on his knees and kneeled and waited for his opponent to wake up. Almost. It was, I don't know. I thought it was impressive. I thought that was
it was more than impressive. It was, because if you realize the amount of adrenaline after a knockout, any knockout, but especially a kick knockout to the head. The adrenaline, your head wants to explode. And most guys at least celebrate a little and then go back and most guys, almost all the guys, they celebrate just because it just explodes, but then they go back and they want to check their opponent right away. Almost everyone does that. But he didn't even do that. He was so focused on his opponent and there was such respect, he went right to his knees and he almost started crying. He was worried about his opponent. You could tell he was genuinely worried. It wasn't an act. He wasn't trying to play any. He was genuinely worried about his opponent, and that is what a true martial artist is about. So,
and it was immediate. I love the fact it wasn't a lot of fighters. You're right. You see that where they hurt the person, they're excited, they run around, and then they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, I should go check on them." And that wasn't at all what he did. Lyoto's been around,
and that shows a lot of class too. They both show a lot of class, but you can just tell his Bushido is like more than most. I mean, he has unbelievable Bushido, and I love him even more than I've loved him, and I've loved him for a long time. I know him, and he's a great guy, but I'm even a bigger fan now. So
just Bing. The picture of seeing Lyoto bowing and Belfort just on his back, I don't know, that was a pretty powerful picture. I mean, it's a great part of martial arts and a terrible part of martial arts all at the same time. Because the guy gets his brutal knockout, which is just terrible. And then just showing all the respect, which is such a good part of the sport that I really like. So I thought that fight was cool just for the ending. All right, the next fight was Dern and Cooper. There was a lot of talk about this fight before it actually happened. What was your take on all this? So Mackenzie Dern, they're fighting at supposed to be fighting at 115.
115.
And she was 8 pounds overweight. The next weight class.
She was 8 pounds overweight.
Because the next weight class is 125.
Well, she was 8 pounds overweight.
She was 123. Yeah, it's crazy.
She's like, no, that's not the first time she's done it. I mean, Amanda Cooper, I would have. Yeah, she should have gotten a bigger cut of the purse or not even taken it. The UFC should have just said, no, go find a 125 or they should have pulled that fight. But it was on the main card and they couldn't. And Mackenzie or Amanda agreed to take it. So it wasn't much of a fight. And it didn't mean, to me, that fight didn't mean anything because she wasn't even the same weight class. So let's move on to the next one. Ronaldo Souza. Jacare. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, against Kevin Gastelum. So when did this end? This ended in round 3?
Gastelum.
What's that?
It went 3 rounds. It was a decision.
Yeah. Oh, it was a decision win for Gastelum. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was actually a split decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a close fight.
Jacare got one of the judges. So split decision.
Well,
do you think the decision was the right decision?
I could have gone either way, but I was more towards Gastelum, even though I was really shocked in how fast both of them gassed. And I did not understand that. I mean, I know fighting, and I've been in there, and I know it's tiring, and I don't sit in my couch and just say, those guys should be in top of shape. I know how tiring it is. But I also know how well conditioned they are, and they didn't look like they usually do. And it wasn't altitude, which can explain it a lot of times. They both looked prematurely gassed, and they both were gassed more than they usually are, or more than a usual fighter is. And I was shocked. I mean, they didn't have, for whatever reason, it didn't seem like they had the conditioning that they usually have. I'm not putting them down. They both fought really hard. They put a lot of heart into it. But I didn't expect either one of them, much less both of them, to get as tired as they did. As fast as they did. I think after the first round, they already were different. They were different in the second and the third.
Well,
So,
Jacare for
I don't
sure.
know.
He seemed more affected, and I don't know if it was from strikes he took to the head or from what, but he seemed way more tired than Kevin Gastelum to me.
Yeah, to me, they both look exactly the same and
Yeah.
exactly way more tired than they usually do. But I mean, Gaslam spent a lot of energy getting off the bottom. Rolando or Jacare took a lot of punishment. Um, so, but they both got more tired. So to me, it wasn't that good of a fight because of that. Because they were just like, I mean, so it was like a slugfest, and that was good. But I thought there was going to be more energy in that fight. But they're still, I mean, they're two of the highest level guys at their weight class. So maybe they just were not a good for the viewers. Maybe they just weren't the best match for the viewers because their styles might have not meshed just right. Like Forrest Whitaker or Forrest Forrest and Stefan. Remember that? That was like the fight of the century. And those two guys against a lot of people didn't look as great as they did against each other. So I don't know. Not kind of like Mickey Ward, Arturo Gatti type thing. I don't think Rolando, Jacare, Kevin put on. I don't think the match was as good. Maybe their skills nullified each other's skills, and it just wasn't the best fight. But they're two of the greatest fighters in their weight class, without a doubt. They're both in the top five, and they'll both be back. So I don't know. That was good. Then Amanda Nunez,
Yep, and
the
Raquel
Lioness,
Pennington.
against Rocky.
Yeah.
Rocky.
So this was an interesting
It was,
fight for how it ended. But it ended in the fifth round by knockout or whatever, TKO. But going into the fifth round, she went into the corner and told her corner, "I'm done." Raquel. She said, "I'm done. I'm done fighting." And her corner, I don't know what you would have done in this situation, but her corner's like, "No, you got one round left. Like, you got this in you. Get back out there." And then she got destroyed. So you can always go back in retrospect and look back and go, "Oh, they should have taken her out of the fight. She didn't want to fight." Or she could have won, and then you go back in retrospect and be like, "Oh, isn't it great that their corner kept her in there?" So she could have quit at any time if she wanted to
yeah.
quit. What was your take on that whole
Yeah.
thing?
Uh, I see both sides, but I think it's not just the beating that she was taking, but the kind of beating. And I think she's taking a painful beating, broken nose, a cut, maybe two, and that's definitely a painful leg. But I didn't see her getting like just pounded and rocked and almost knocked out and dazed. I didn't see that kind of hurt. That kind of hurt to me is much more dangerous, concussion kind of hurt, than cuts, bruises, broken noses, etc. To me, that's what you signed up for in fighting. You want to be a fighter, that's what you signed up for. Once you start getting dizzy and dazed and unconscious or semi-conscious or whatever, I'm stopping the fight no matter what. But I think she had enough wherewithal to come back and just basically tell her corner, "I'm in too much pain right now. Everything hurts. I want to quit." With that said, she could have gone out the next round and won. She could have gone out the next round and got killed. Anything could have happened. But with the injuries that she had, I personally would have stopped it. But that's not the right move. I think it's a smarter move to try to get her to go back and motivate her to fight a little more. And she got stopped with 2.5 minutes to go, as opposed to quitting in her corner. I think she fought for a title in the biggest arena in MMA, the UFC, for a world title in her weight class. And I think quitting in the corner would haunt her for the rest of her life, as opposed to going out on her shield like she did. Like I said, if she got dropped a bunch of times and she was kind of out of it, and I thought there was anything going on in the brain, then that's one thing. But I think going out with the broken nose, a cut, and a sore leg, I think she's going to be better off in the long run going out there and having the referee stop it.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that.
And she was also fighting back. It wasn't a one-sided.
Yeah.
She was connecting against Amanda. It wasn't very effective, but she was fighting back, and she was being aggressive, and she was pushing the fight forward when she could. So it wasn't like it was a one-sided beatdown.
No, and so like I would have personally stopped it, but I don't think that was the best move. I think as a trainer, I have some real faults, and that's one of them in the corner. And I think the corner did the right thing. She says it, and so does her fiance say it. So her fiance and her both agreed that was the right call. We're going to feel better about it moving forward than we would have if we quit in the corner. So she would have felt better for that minute, like when you want to eat that ice cream or you want to not work out or you don't want to study for your test. She might have felt better that minute, but that quitting in the corner will haunt you for the rest of your fucking life and the rest of your career. But not just the career. More importantly, that'll always have been in her head. Right now, she could say, I went out fucking on my shield.
And
so
she
I
went
think
out
it was a good
she
call.
tried to fight in that last round. She tried. She got overwhelmed, but she tried.
Yeah. So, bing. That's I mean, those two girls are the best out there at that weight class. And, yeah, Amanda is she's a different kind of beast. And she's such a sweetheart, too. I mean, the class that they showed to each other, their camps, it was the ultimate in class all the way around. Amanda Nunez is like, if you meet Amanda Nunez at a bar, a sports bar, and start talking to her, she's like the funniest, most just outgoing, funny person with just such a sweet personality. And you would never say, "What? You're a fighter? What?" So I mean, and Raquel and her fiance are the same. Just such nice. Her fiance just got her master's degree, and she's a sharp cookie. And she trained at AT&T. That's how I know her. But she changed camps because of her girlfriend, and she knew she'd be fighting Amanda and stuff. So anyway, great fight, great show of class. That just the whole. There's pictures of all four of them together. Them two and their two fiancés are both fighters and training partners of theirs, and they hang around together and they're good friends. So it was a tough fight for Amanda and for Raquel, and I think they handled it really well. Bing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the ending. I didn't have a problem with what her corner did personally, but everyone goes back and second guesses that stuff. But I think in the moment,
easy to second guess.
What's that?
It's easy to second guess.
Oh yeah, once you know the results, yeah, it's always easy.
Yeah, hindsight 20/20, and then I would have, like I said, I would have stopped it, but then I would have done the wrong thing, and that would have been the wrong thing to do. I would have let my emotions take over, and I think her corner did the right thing, and from everything I saw, like I didn't have a CAT scan going and see she had a bleed, but I mean from what I saw on the outside, her corner did the right thing. So, I mean if you're gonna dog on her corner, I mean work her corner a bunch of times first, and then be in a title fight and be in the same position, and then complain about it. But with that said, like I said, if she was getting like almost knocked out, and I was like pushing her back out, that's one thing. But I've had guys want to quit in the corner before where I've pushed them out. And I've also had guys in the corner where I've thrown in the towel where they wanted to go back out. So I know both sides of that. And I think the corner did the right thing.
Right. I agree.
So, good. So what else we got? We got everything else. That was it, man. I mean, great weekend. You're doing a bike race all week. What?
Yeah, it's the California Tour of California. It's a professional bike race, so I go out and help every year as medical coverage. We could use you, John. Actually, we got a few nurses on the staff. We got 2 ER doctors. We got a couple orthopedic doctors. Got a chiropractor. We got some of everybody on the team. So it's this huge rolling circus that follows the bike race through all of California. Started in Long Beach. Today we were Ventura, all through the hills, and ended in Santa Barbara. It's like 100 miles. And then tomorrow we're going like King City to Monterey. So that's where I'll be. So next week I'll be back. We'll do this in studio next time.
Yeah. Sorry about this. Sorry about this, guys. But anyway, check us out. Share this, please. We want this podcast to be all over. This is the best podcast in the world. We think it should be all over. We have guests. We don't have any guests today, but we're gonna have some big time guests. We want our upcoming guys I'm looking at right now are Mark Goddard and Tim Kennedy, and who else we want on here soon?
Hey, whoever you got.
We'll get someone else. We'll get someone on, but then we don't even need anyone because we are like a cornucopia, a plethora of information and entertainment. It's nonstop. So anyway, all right, that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Share this. Tell everybody about our Pitmaster and the Doc podcast, the best podcast out there. Let's make it happen. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Get YouTube Red, and you can listen to it even while you log out of YouTube. It'll still be playing. And get YouTube Red anyway, at least for a trial, so you can watch all of Cobra Kai, which I just did. I just got it yesterday. I'm going to go through the whole series, and I'm going to decide. I don't know if it's worth $13 a month. I don't know. It doesn't really. I don't see I don't get that many ads on YouTube. So to me, it's worth it, like Cobra Kai, to watch that. But you get 1 month free. I don't know if I want to pay $13 a month for YouTube Red. I don't know. I don't know if it has enough shows.
We're going to give you a month. We'll give you a month with it, and then you can give us your review. Should we do it or not?
All right.
You got a month to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I signed up for a month. So I'll see how it goes. I'm going to watch all of Cobra Kai. And check it out, guys. Cobra Kai was reading my magazine, right? We know that, right? The Cobra Kai guy?
Yeah, I think we showed a picture of it.
Yeah, but did everybody see it? I mean, don't just when this kind of stuff happens, guys, you guys got to jump on it because, it's so basically, I'm on Cobra Kai. That's me. That's the Cobra Kai guy, Johnny. He's reading in Black Belt magazine. That is me on the cover. I am a superstar now. I want residuals. Anyway, we're out of here, guys. Thanks for coming. Subscribe and share us. Tell everybody about Pitmaster and the Doc. We also answer questions. You can even ask them about your rotator cuff injury if you have one, right? And let me just say something. Let's pretend it's still Mother's Day. If you don't train in martial arts and you're a man, happy Mother's Day. Anyway, that's all.
All right. John,
I don't know.
see you when I get back.
All right.
All right, man. Take it easy.